out of the monies that we earn through the call up from the national team. And so basically, I think from the player level, we see drastic development in the player level, from the player level. And like I say, we want to thank the people that we come around for giving support them, because like I say, we could mention so many names them if we want for start for being calling the Michael, the Babadi Kamara, host of other names, Abubakar Bangua, and also for the individuals that we come together, Mohamed Kalon, for CC, we take this game to another level. But like you rightly said, we have so many challenges, and these challenges are really affecting just not only the game, they're also affecting other sporting disciplines. One of them is facilities. Now, when you look at the Sierra Premier League, before this time, we watch the game na National Stadium. Now we all understand, including my big host now, that the stadium they under renovation at the moment. And so when we go for watch the Premier League, you watch on a very pathetic pitch. You see the players then they find them very difficult even for controlling the ball, which is something very much challenging. And when you go to social media, you see other countries, other nations, the manner in which they therefore push the sport go before. I think say we just like as always, what we be done to do for push the Sierra Football Association and other people within to the football family for say them bringing facilities. We get infrastructures. Remember, we are now not using the national stadium. Had it been if we get all the stadiums, like let's say 3 or 4 stadiums. Remember, we have CAF qualification previously. Also, we see teams like Bo Rangers, teams like FC Calon. Instead of them playing their home matches here, we had to go to Liberia for go big for Stadium Day. You understand? We will all be there in the situation with Liberia. Then ban Sierra Leone Stadium at a point and ban Liberia alone. Then move fast ahead and they can walk towards that and get something going. Likewise for the national team. Now, once we affect the national team, my colleague mentioned here about the African Cup of Nations. Our performance was so good when we went to Cameroon. We shocked the whole world, because playing against Algeria, one of the bigger nations in Africa, and get a draw from such a team, and we play against Nigeria before going to the AFCON, and that match then I sell Sierra Leone or the Leone Stars to the world, because coming back from 4-0 down and get an equalizer in a match, people not be expect for scissors from Sierra Leone. But now we're back again from the AFCON. We say before we can't take from the AFCON out and go up. Now we are coming down again. Why? Because infrastructure is not in place. Now they don't ban the national stadium. Had it been we get another pitch ready, like Guinea get more than 3 or 4 facilities. So if they ban this one, they can use this other one. Like you already mentioned, Martin and my brother here, when we go for play now Guinea, me host will confirm to you that the support we get when we play home, we definitely know better when we go play now Guinea or Liberia. And like you already know, the home advantage is very important in football or in any other sporting discipline, because the people are very creative and they know why they say home and away. Some people not give the home, yes, we can just go play no more, but it is very important, because when you have the 11th player or the 12th player, the 12th player are the fans them. Some players, the moment they see their family member or in brother or in sister and pitch, they watch them, in motivation the different compared to we go play on a pitch where it just feel like no more an empty stadium, and even the team with the host, they start to get the confidence, feeling like, what, everybody, this is an equal game. You remember when we had the COVID situation, it is so difficult. They see teams that are big teams then, in fact, even at the homes then, because when you play teams then, we get huge support or huge fan base. When you play with the fan, it's very difficult for play when the fans are not there. So, by and large, I want to say, we want to really push the Sierra Football Association for let them get facilities them ready. You rightly understand, my co-host there as well get the understanding that then the Sierra puts artificial top. Then I want good to for commend the FA as well for, because it's very important. We want to see the Sierra Leone Premier League and other sporting disciplines then they play in a very good facilities, because it's very important. Now I know we don't can't train in a very rough pitch. You understand? When international opportunity come out or international call up, we go now to a pitch also used for, familiar, with the tough. It can be very difficult for even the players then. Before this time, when players they go for trials, then they face that situation and then we'll come back and say, well, I know we get that facility, I know we used to them, because let's say for example Paris grounds, also already watch the interior. You and I know the pitching condition, and so if a player is not too used, gets himself or fade, with standard pitch, then it can be very difficult for good deliver on a standard pitch. So like I said, we need for I want for use this medium as well for comment. People need to go, extra mile. Like I said, we all seen out the Southern Arena a couple of days ago. The Sierra Football Association sent some members in there for go monitor the pitch, and one for comment Babadi Kamara for such an initiative alongside the management of Blue Rangers, because it is very important. Let's not forget, if anybody can invest in anything, because they get a mini stadium, but the thought and fit say this is for CLU. Them boys here not so only for Blue Rangers now. It go get to a point where Salon will get a match. We don't need again for go to Liberia. So you see, but we really need to come together in CLU, the journalists, the footballers, the management, the Sierra Football Association management, and get to the drawing board. Like my brother just said, this is not the last show for the 2022, and so we look at all issues them. Who's we need for work on, who's we need for amend, who's we need for develop, and work on them before we get to the next stage. And so it's very, very important that we try to address these issues, especially one part of the facilities. When the game they play, when the fans they get access to the players, it's very important, it's very good, because before this time, I remember at the time when Premier League they play, when the player will play, and then it gets the fan they get access to them. We see even fan them they go inside field and drop player outside. So that now always mean that they happen now because of facility. And then we see where they do this facility in a Kenema, that for the Camry Eagles. That we get a trench around, the fans then they out, then the game. No matter what happen, the match will continue. But before this time, tell them the way as soon as confusion happen, then the match is over. So we want for avoid that situation in the come 2023. And so this platform is a very, very huge one, and I believe a host of the Sierra Football Association members are following this particular program, and then will take note of the things here we desire for outlining so today.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdullah. And as they say, when you talk about pitch, a lot of things that the last time when they talked with me, but also things that they will need for consider that. Now you look at the ongoing Sierra Leone Premier League and also the female Sierra Leone Premier League. I can wonder, you get these two sets of league play, and we not get the facilities for the teams there. So we'll therefore discuss that. But before that, we'll have a very short break. When we come back, we'll talk about that. Okay.
Michelle Group of Companies is reliable, competent, and trustworthy in providing quality service to its wide range of clientele. Through Mishcom, we provide premium internet service, secured data connectivity, VLAN and VOI over stats and fiber to mining industries, enterprises, hospitality industries, banks. We also provide fiber to home, point-to-point, and satellite backup for Freetown and provincial regions. Through our Michelle Security Agency, called MSA for short, we provide a wide range of services that brings safety, security to our clients. Our services include Staff Guard, which also includes access and control room, customer service security, roving, mobile control, and many more. For more information, visit our head office at number 10I Sasame Lewis Road, Freetown, or call +232 73 554 616 or 232 32 554 616. Michelle Group of Companies. We are the leaders.
Before we go, we would have talk about the pitch, and you see the facility not enough. Then now we get the Sierra Leone Premier League, and before that the female Premier League didn't start.
Yeah.
So we look at before that happen, they always look at say how they never play them games there. So for your part, how you feel to say the two sides of the court, the two leagues, then where we not get enough facility?
Well, like my brother just mentioned here about the bad pitch where we play, and coming back from yesterday matches where I've been in the Central Football Association Kofa, if you see in a particular time the game get full stop because the dust that affects the referee in the eye. So you see, it's really pathetic. This is not enough matter. It's really bad. And the first day I was also in Trade Center. We see like the distance between the players and the supporters, and not too much far. So you see, at any time confusion will take place. At any time misunderstanding will take place. And also the ref, they're not really secure. Me, I will talk as a journalist, but if you mean a referee, now say alone. I know some matches in the way are not good ref at all because I forget from my life. We see what happened to Matarazzi at Port Loco, and the same thing we want to implement now at Trade Center. Even Lions, I was there. I was in that particular presence. So you see, I know what kind of risk me like so far for at least posting the host. Then you not get that kind of security and the way they put in place. And somebody take a serious as a big materials, but you know for the BFSO, in fact you can't take one slap. We even go now on social media, we see a lot of bloggers, they say materials this time around we're not going to take a mess with you. If you go agree, we're beat you up, you understand? All I say they and unnecessary so far. And we see say the league they gone. My brother also just mentioned about the bad pitch way. At least even home base player they can go for play national level that they play there. And not really how we expect them to perform. We get the likes of players Barry where they play well. But you don't expect them for playing at Trade Center or on a parade, you expect them for they go play AFCON and play completely well. No, it can't be possible. So at least this is the year of 2022. Coming 2023 we appeal to every stakeholders in terms of sports for at least the leagues they can measure their input, because one way or another it be affect to player. Some of you say yeah, but they play football, they play this, will go overseas. No, now some of them 2-3 things that they happen into them. You understand?
Okay, talking about stakeholders, this talking I talk about already talk for a very long time, and I look say I don't know how the footballing body we say we for help going to 2023. And you look at say at times they look at when you look at football that the outside world, you get the Manchester, you get the Liverpool, you get the Barcelona, Madrid, all these 10 teams are from a community. So I look at say it's high time we take the football to the community level, rather than get personal people that control this team. Because if they can to the community level, then you're able to foresee that kind of management to do well. So stuff like what do you say about that?
Very, very salient points you made there, and let me just elaborate on it a bit. You know, like you rightly mentioned, when you take football to the community, or let's say to a city, like when Bo Rangers are coming, a lot of people are saying, I am coming to support Bo Rangers. Then they get that kind of support more than teams that we, like, let's say for example in Freetown here, we have several premier teams, and so let's say in an event we get teams. When you watch, let me just cite an example, simple. When you watch the inter-area competition, we just conclude at Parade Grounds, you will see that even traders, then they go out there just for buy their community jersey at 200,000 or 250,000, just because the person believes say this particular jersey you are wearing now me community jersey. So not only this time, before this time we've been saying this for a very long time, that again forget to a point where we get for advice football stakeholders for take them teams here, even if they feel insecure, let them take the teams into certain communities. Okay, now with our first community, una take this team for B una premier. We go in at the management of the team, but let the team be under River Force, let the team be under Central, let the team be under Mountain Fullerton.
Yeah, because that kind not the type of culture. Because if you look at Manchester United,
yes,
and the Glazer family,
definitely,
but
the people around Manchester,
so you can still get FC Cologne.
Exactly. That is what I'm trying to say. The management can be controlled by Cologne, but let the people feel like this is our team. I think one team they don't try to make that change this time around in the Premiership, just that they are lacking in the area of doing the publicity. Then at Central Parade, because I guess the last time I go to the training grounds, they were calling them Wilberforce Community Central Parade. I think then they work on changing the name now from Central Parade to as well Freetown and Slifer. You know, before this time, now be an academic team. Did the team we play FC Cologne the other day. If we don't forget the community who coming around the teams, then we will get the momentum of the Sierra Premier League where we don't ever get it. I tell you, when we go watch inter-area, you feel so good that people are putting on the authentic jerseys where they make from Turkey, from other parts of the world, you know, and then they come colorful, very, very colorful. When I get videos then, you know, we don't see the videos the way they see, you know, that kind of flavor, the drama around you. They see, like England we watch, you know, they get them bands, you know, they get them battery around, but you know, different elements them for support and cheer the boys them. And so it's a very salient point you brought. Let's just see, we always on the advice 10 teams here, una take them teams here to community level. When una do that, then we go see how the community begin say, okay, FC Cologne, Leicester City, we play today with our force Central Parade. And so when the support they come out, they come in thousands instead of, you know, just that few number we see. Like you already mentioned, now we get 2 leagues really play. we want to commend first the female league, Premier League board for trying to see how best we can watch female football, because it has been a while, you know, and we not forget a balance. We're going to say, oh, no, now it's not a demand, and no, the league they play, but unfortunately, it is playing mostly in the provinces. Why again? It is same thing. Also, come out the facilities. A lot of people are in Freetown here. We have to watch them picking up for play. We have to watch them, but most of the time, the picture them they play now upline areas then or in the provinces. You know, people within in Freetown are not to get the opportunity to for watch them regularly. You know, exactly how they come out again. You know, so if then teams here start for things, say, okay, now let's do this thing national for a national level. We want to commend the Premier League board this time around, because they are trying to see how best they can make the league public, get that publicity we deserve. But I think say we need for do more, and they need for do more. Whereas we need to get public people will get public command, you know, coming on board for support their teams. Then there was the league we play where Lions win, though it was not accredited by CAF, but the momentum behind that league where Safa Abdullahi, the Safa Abdullahi Premiership Board, you know, where you go to stadium, you watch. I remember a match between, I think it was FC Cameroon and Lions. The whole stadium, even around the pavilion, people were sitting down just to watch this match. In fact, because of the match probably don't start at 5, because of the crowd, the match don't start till up to 8 o'clock. So we want that same momentum again. Now the Premier League, we want people who get public command, people who get, you know, because no matter how you look at it, that's why they say we have celebrities, we get people away, and then any you look at them, they get people who follow them. Let people then they come over and say, okay, I'm supporting this team, and then you see people follow as well, because now so the entire pick a form. Because you want big man of come and say, me na this team are the, and he puts him on it. The good thing about the Sierra Leone League this time around, one thing will happen the last time, Martin and my brother here, I tell you for free, we get teams there for go play your own Premier League games them. They not be get support for go play games them. Even for buy food for the players or for get transportation for the players. Now it's something to be very, very difficult. But now the coming of Safa Abdullahi, the Dididos, the Babaji, Rodney Michael, Mighty Blackpool, we they see now each and every team, at least one individual, and they do the camera, they say we have for push something go before. Waiting out the need for do, like you already mentioned, now for take this game to the people, because the people are going to get the football, now they get the game. Like you already mentioned, now Real Madrid, for example, you get Florentino Perez as the president, but when it comes to a lot of decisions, then Real Madrid fans them so very passionate about the team. You know, they want to follow the player you go buy, because now then they contribute their money, they're little cent, you know, and so let them carry that kind of flavor here as well. Go to communities, if not even 5,000 leons. And each of them communities and then donate, then contribute. It will take the team a long way. And the good thing as well, it will provide job opportunities for a lot of youths then. You know, because sports are one way we can really engage the youths then. And if we're able to engage them in sport, remember, if let's say a team they register 25 or 30 players, you know, for playing the Sierra Leone Premier League, and then let's say we get, as well as approximately we get 15 teams. So you know how many youths them they employ, so out of there you go get medics then, you get people really as trainers then. A lot of other people that can get benefit out of this. So that is why we've been trying to let people understand the importance of sport.
Okay, Abla, if I can hold you there, I can recall very well the Salon Football Association get the mandates like for operate football in the country. And there was a constitution where they adopt, like when then clubs they are so all the clubs who have a pool day, like the one that we just can get Premier League clubs where just talking about the Yale Republicans, talking about the Loa FC and the Lamboy FC, where they adopt the Bamoy Declaration in Kenema. This now a new constitution, the new adopted where they put where in say clubs them for make sure say they live up to the Bamoy Declaration. What it entails inside this document, this Bamoy Declaration. This now a question where I put to the to the sport authority, somebody where they in charge. I ask them, yes, I say now the past SLFA election will be recalled. The Secretary General will be make very clear to club owners and say they will not forget the Bamoy Declaration documents. What's in that document they tell you about? Clubs then for make sure say they get a well furnished secretariat. Clubs then for make sure say they get a updated website. Then for make sure say they get a well structured apartment. Then for get a pitch with well standard. How many of them clubs there you fit to say like then get some of them things they are there? So let's go on. now that documents they embedded inside the SLFA constitution, and as time come for election, they go use them because if you not meet to that threshold, then you whip you because you not qualify because he embedded it inside it. We so happy now we see like the momentum with the game. People that don't believe for say like football, they play wide across the world. They need for put their money inside it. We saw team about it do where you go Guinea, you see what's happen with now OFC. It come na salon also come for cancer from. You see don't see. And the club, all the club na salon we see get a club house, they get a running website, they also get a boss, they also get a pitch already developed without go happen in the quarter of next year. What do you feel to say like their authorities and they do for them make sure say they live up to that Bamo declaration day?
Well, actually this is very simple and straightforward. So the stakeholders the more get so far na SLFA na the same one them way like we own a football team. So you see, so if we don't get that kind of constitution, they will need for work with them immensely. You understand? Just like we see what I just mentioned here. If we already say we don't pen down on the constitution, they're not there in that particular team. Then they, trust me, they're not for the in the form of playing any Premier League. You understand? Artificial tough nothing for them. They not get a good website. They not get nothing the way entails for them, at least then they in the peak of playing Premier League. But if it's the same one the way like then they go through the constitution, then they amend everything, and then the same one they backslide and go over. Just like as you know, the same people and way at least then they are the stakeholders and the same one they get club and are the same people and way.
And it's for cut that the same South Canton where we say they need to take this league to the community level.
Exactly.
At the community level, then you can find out they go for manager well because I as a team, of course. For me, they say some people that come into this for can make money for
exactly.
Because if you get people for monitor, say when I so want to team for good and so want to team for good, so then by that they're going for bring out to that way people them go love.
And I guess one of my friends so far we and also they follow football, but we this entire just ended. We could over win. They asked me say they could over win, so they go play the Premier League now. I laugh. As soon as this. I just entire no man for a body on you only part of the Premier League. So that kind of person they get passion for it's a community, you understand. In one let's say they implement so far that the country. So like last season I go for watch Eastern Tiger versus Mighty Blackpool where them beat Mighty Blackpool 2-0. So you see where Alaji Yelenke, one of the keeper for Eastern Tiger, it gets injured in a foot where a foot broke. So you see at the end of the game, how much you say they get the plus there? Eastern Tiger. That's 30,000, 40,000. So if na community where like everybody don't come on board, well, na community where like we all don't put everything in place, they say they know what happen. We see Ashentonians go into the Potafa. Not only Kofa or Potafa with a small body on the Kofa. You see a large amount of population so far where at least everybody the just way come on talk will be what I make. It's about 200,000 and so man I don't contribution and the way we give so far in the community. Well at least them buy jersey. Well, at least we work as go to wholesale for us. It's a possible so that's supposed to. I really come and get off from community. Let's everybody proud of our various communities. So if they change the style of the Premier League and counter into the community form, I think say everybody will be back. Everybody will come on board. So
now Easter round celebrates the 94th years anniversary, and you take a look at that now one of the most celebrated clubs. They win a lot of titles, Premier League titles with Mighty Blackpool. And now one of the clubs around you see them pitch with them just list some trade center for 99 years. It's a good one, the new executive. But if I not for say like if we take way back to the Bamo declaration, this allows for don't go way back, they don't develop way back. What if it was like they are people there where they in charge of their stakeholders where they own the clubs there so they get it wrong? How we feel to say like we're able for correct them mistakes then they
well so far and they get for correct their mistakes so far because if you watch the people and we like they run the football team, they're all educated, you understand. All those schools know it's a constitution and some of them read government, you understand. So if you don't see them instead of us and Mighty Blackpool team so far we like me not this so happy because the kind of same way they don't take so far na Sierra Leone. They don't fit for a lot of measures in place, you understand. Me man be the call a WhatsApp group where it say Eastern Lions don't win so many trophies and I come say show me the trophy where Eastern Lions they win. They did now. We don't get any archive, we don't get any museum so far. We should say this trophy here, I said, coming to the Manchester United. I don't compare same football in international level. We watch them many leagues and they coming to the Manchester United. You see, they get a museum from 1954 from this to they show you everything so far. So if let's say they don't write the constitution, we team never get. It's like what a league would they play? Somehow I don't know how to play with somebody say Samuel as only would play, application would play, only would play. Because even if we don't take a picture of outside the Premier League they play, we'll post them now on the website. And mind you, some of the websites that we would use, like one website, some of the Ghanaians, the Senegalese, they say, that Premier League this, and they can't pitch so, like, in any point in time, like, you will feel so sad, you understand? Why we can't have the platform so far for talk? Now, at least come in 2023, every infrastructure for it in place, but Bobby don't set the place for it. Exactly. At least this is a time of continuation, you understand? If we FC can learn, then they Angola and go reach. It's very simple. They take that side, make that side very well, furnish the side very well, and call on everybody so far away that are particular houses. Therefore, everybody will come on board for sale base. They can have good FC Canon, you understand? So I can say they want so far play happen. I will say football.
Yeah, Abdullah, we don't talk a lot about the Salary Premier League. Now, Kofa League. Yeah. Kofa League that end. But how you go for the competition from the start to the finish, the challenges there and the success?
Well, by and large, I think the good thing is the competition ends this time around. That's a good thing, because we watched certain leagues over I don't know, semi-final each then. We'll just forget about that. Exactly. But it started off well. We all did enjoy the match. Then we go there till to quarterfinals. Then we start forget skirmishes. We start forget the things that will be on the play against, or we not be wish for thing. Because even the teams that will go to the final, it be only deep, left now in the hands of Kofa to decide who that's the goal. Because these are things we don't want for CMCL and football. We want for go against violence. We don't talk about this for a very, very long time. That violence and football are not the same. They're not go together. When you listen to a lot of music that will come around the world, or when you listen to when you watch the FIFA World Cup, football, I'm not looking again nationally. Football, when the FIFA World Cup finally play, the World Cup finally play, the whole world is stunned for that particular attendee. Everybody, whether you're a medical doctor, an engineer, carpenter, masonry, you see the passion people have for football. Everybody go to their televisions for watch France and Argentina. And when teams then they score, you imagine France they score, people they celebrate in here in Sierra Leone, like people in France. When Argentina they score, people they celebrate. Probably some other for Argentina, some other for like Messi. So the banter is very important in football. What do I mean by the banter? The provocation. Now provocation make delicate today. We see Eastern Lions, then they make how they call them trade center pitch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because when we see Bo Rangers moving or doing that kind of thing, everybody come out, hey, Bo Blackpool, hey, Bo Lions, that trigger them. And say, no, we say them money man and Bo, I will can't see your money man. Yes, let me act. And but interestingly, the inter-area competition this time around, it was a huge success. Because at the end of the day, we will foresee a team being crowned champion of the competition, and we see several other things happen. But we want to forget more and more. We want to see development. Firstly, I want to commend the league sponsor, Ahmed Gento Kamara, for what you do, because this is the very first time in football, develop everything, because we are here talking about football.
Exactly.
For an individual come straight off and say, I am helping these communities with jerseys. Before this time, when I played inter-area for over 8 seasons when I was playing football actively, and so I know the competition religiously. Since then, they don't get game for inter-area, they don't get jerseys for play. But this is now the very first inter-area where all the teams that will partake in the first round, they give them all jerseys. And the good thing is, if you use the jersey for play, you give as well another 500,000. If you imagine, they'll give something. Then they say if you use a back play, then they give. So this is something laudable. This is something we for commend. These are things where when you talk about them, it move another person will get money for say I want for myself off next year. I want them in the lane, I mean them with the talk na TV, na radio, and other places, because this is what we want. That's why we are mentioning names like Rodney Michael, the Safa Abdullahi, the Dididos, because they are. See, I football, it is very difficult for the person put him on now, he gets tobacco.
Exactly.
Right now. That's the reality. Sure. That's the reality. You just do it for the love of the game. And when people come on board, then you will get the little we don't invest in them. But when you start, it is very, very off. So we want to appeal to the communities then for state of violence. When we get an inter-area community league where we don't get that kind of violence, especially when we stop the game not for play. Exactly. Because no matter how I enjoy other parts in Europe, then they get their issues, then you go see fans, then they fight up the stand, but the match always waiting, they continue. And as well, I want to just use this medium for advocate to the security personnel then, we can then them pitch there, because I remember when this commotion started, one officer be the way, if you may calm down small a bit, sometimes a lot of the things that will happen at that pitch that day, it not gonna be happen. Because the moment something happens, then they start for our column, shoot that tear gases, and then it escalates, things. People will begin jump on that stampede situations. We want to move away from bandy. We want to go to an interior where you go sit down, like a carnival sort of. Because that's where it starts, eh?
Sure, yeah.
At the end of the day, now we can come to this quarter-final and semi-finals. We can't begin get these issues. But we want for trust on Kofa for in subsequent time for bringing more security than this time around, because remember we are all in this land, we don't see how things they happen now. We want for they talk to government as well for letting them try for see how they can cushion the issue around drugs and the things of young youth them they take, because a lot of the times where you will see somebody very calm, a very decent or gentle individual, when you take any of them things here, it go to another level we enable for controlling self. And so them things we need for the watch arm around the pitch them. Like my brother rightly mentioned, I'd be very sad when I be around the Eastern Lions match with them play and I see supporters and they attack referees, which is very bad. Because at the end of the day, we need these people. If tomorrow the referee say, okay, we are not going, we are not safe, we don't think, you think so the league will continue? Not at all. So everybody is important here. And another area very important where I forget to talk about is the teams allowing private investors for coming to the team, companies. Now we've seen for local commercial bank, we see now the advert in front of Mighty Blackpool jersey. It is good. We have other companies around Sierra Leone. We need teams that will go to the companies here, like, okay, we are Fritonian Slifer, we play the Sierra Leone Premier League. At least we can use una company name in front of you as a sort of advert. Exactly. And then when we do these things, even Manchester, as big as Manchester United, there'll be adverts for a company. Isn't that so? Yeah. And teams like Raja Casablanca, I don't want to mention teams then like with England. I want to call teams with Africa where some person will say, okay, Raja Casablanca, then they beat a lot of teams in Europe in terms of management. Now Timo get more than 5 or 6 flights on their own. Now African Timo, not to European team. So not to something strange. We self can do them. A lot of time we talk about something about development. People don't say in a salon, in a this. No. It's not about na salon. We need for change the mentality, how we think. We need for change with attitude, because with attitude get a lot of role for play. This issue we talk about people misbehaving in pitch, people not conducting themselves well, it's about attitude. When we understand that this game now something way other people they use for bring peace in the country. Now something way other people they use for bring investors to the country. We see how Qatar take the World Cup. They take like something way like they never get this kind of thing in the country. We all see the money they spend, just for host of FIFA World Cup. The money they spend just this year, they beat 2 or 3 World Cups then. They are not stupid. They know the importance. You know how many thousands of foreign nationals that don't go into Qatar, don't go see the country, don't go, get mixed with their culture, to the point that even when the champions, Argentina, they left then sit and they say, what we can do again, forget the world in attention. You should say recently, they say, okay, the Humusai, the world champion, the possible world, say that the best player at the competition online on Messi, will make him a museum. These are things we need to do for capture the world their attention. And so sports get that kind of thing they bring. A lot of the time, Algerians them, but they don't know anything but Sierra Leone. When we play in the AFCON, you can go to videos them again and see. You see the other guy, the man they ask, whose country this? We not even sabi set na the world. We can all with him. So you see, it make already people that sabi with country. Musa no akama una Musa Tumbu. People like call their nickname. Played against Eric Bailey. Somebody don't put on Manchester United jersey and score against that kind of team. What can they do? It open them to the world. It make teams from all over the world see and say, this young man has a potential. And it opened doors for a lot of players then na Sierra Leone. So these are the good things that we spot the blinker. Interestingly, before we start the program, and listen when me boss they talk now, see Sierra Leone will go to the World Cup. We all hope for that because when Sierra Leone get to sub stage, then we all tend to benefit. When Ghana goes to World Cup, the journalists that we go will benefit out of just traveling to Qatar. They were more than 50. So you see why we're always talking. It is not only about the players. Like I said, it never be only for the players. Then everybody gets a share. Where Sanogo qualified just for World Cup, my brother will say, okay, I'm going to watch. This will say, I'm going to watch. Other people will say, okay, by then we are going there not only for go watch, we are going there for go get the feel of how things are happening. And so that is why we want the game for develop. We want the game for move from this level to another. You know, and in other sporting disciplines them as well. Sierra Leone they move. Sierra Leone they take how they call them steps them for go before. All what we need now let the NSA and the other people who are responsible for their sporting disciplines and they try to give them the attention we them deserve. You know, because we are now this, like I say, like you already say, this program are like the locked door for 2022. And so we want for really give as well the limelight to even boxing. Interestingly, the boxer for Sierra Leone was mentioned when they categorized the top boxers then for 2022. You imagine a female boxer from Sierra Leone was mentioned. It's a good thing, you know. When they mention the country name, you feel so very good that yes, I am part of this. Like you already mentioned, now that made the entire get that kind momentum when you talk about because you feel like I am part of the process. My team they go play today. Now so what they talk.
I don't know for other people, but for me, I feel like it's area the Cof of a league is more unique, more they capture people and
the attention. And the other good thing, as well, which is so interesting, from what I'm let you understand, you know, the inter-area they play at the central part of Freetown.
Yes.
And a lot of the time, people who don't do them business now, PZs, people who don't do them now with the first streets. So man, that even tell they let me to the team they play.
Just go keep
just they go now, they buy and drink, they see old friends, then see them, you know, they get a kind of carnival flavor. Even Brazil, and that make them leagues them very, very competitive because now that kind of thing they do. When you watch Brazil league, if you buy like when you go to a club, you see ban them like the German Bundesliga, ban them. People don't watch the game safe. Now so we see by this inter-area and the videos they were so very appealing, you know. You feel good when you see. Now the other thing is so unique about this inter-area, now the way how the woman then welcome the inter-area. Before this time, we will get low turnout of women then for watch the inter-area.
Exactly.
But I tell you, this time around, the woman will go for support the inter-area. The number was massive.
Exactly.
Massive. If I don't buy jazz, even the community, you buy someone's jazz because you just come buy for me jazzy. All my way that jazzy. You know, so they feel belong and they really enjoy the situation. Interestingly, what will happen was so unique. Now some of the inter-area community teams, then one of them like Leicester City, like this right dimension Kutoru, then they even organize award ceremony. You imagine Premier League teams they not even think of that. Now the inter-area teams then when the year they rule off so now, then they organize award ceremony for the players then will play in the inter-area competition. At the end of the day, they give an envelope, just like how teams like Al Ahly, you know, Super Sports United, you know, these teams from Africa are doing it. By doing this, it will motivate the boys then. It goes sad. Sometimes I can feel so sad. Me when I watch the entire competition, most of the players they want to play, they all play with very brand new boots. Now one of the things I never quite happen at the entire competition. But it will be sad for you for what you see on the Premier League.
Sport journalists and people we can go out there and bring the information to the people out there. Well, for say without the journalists, it hardly follow people whether the majority knows what is happening over there. And this Premier League board, correct Premier League board, being pull out a list for accreditation for sport journalism. But it's kind of unfortunate, so I tell you so. We apply, we no able get no accreditation, and other colleagues journalists then they definitely get no accreditation. The embarrassment can so
we good at this.
You know, it's so sad as a journalist, you understand. For you get some man people begin to interrogate you first, except some of we, one or two of colleagues and say, no, left am this nice sport journalist, a presenter, you know, and we ID card also can save we. But I believe for say it's nice if the Premier League board knows what they do, because now 210 and pull out the press release. We apply first, then disband and then pull another set of press release again. Then journalists then apply, go with them application forms. At the end of the day, nothing will even come. So it's sad. I don't know what you will say to us.
You know, there's just a smile. You know, a lot of people don't understand the power of the media. That is what you need to understand. The day people realize how important journalists are,
exactly,
they will start treating people who are media persons like kings.
Yes, sir.
Because we've seen, I just want to cite an example. A country in Africa, no go one for mention, let people know. One person I just don't already know more say, "Una lot common as a love of it." War broke out.
Sure.
This tribe begin kill this. That's the power of the media.
Sure.
And no matter what they do in sport in this country, my brother, if the journalists do not talk, if the journalists do not propagate, no way people will not be aware of it.
Exactly.
Sure.
So people need to understand, see, this set of people are very, very important. That is why I take you back to the Safari League. Sure. Something will be the Para League Day where I still they admonish for let it happen. We be they see people like even the president who can say, me and the team this one supports. Then other minister will come and say, okay, you know another idea, me and this team I support. Then one pastor will come and say, me and this team I support. Another imam will, religious people
sure.
All man they take just for let me get that blend of competition. Banter. I will go on social media and say, but Martin, una team play FC Cameroon don't between at 3 notes. I go and take the cameraman and say, okay, cameraman, you know, now they East Alliance, they don't beat. SF will respond.
Sure.
So that banter day, now media thing you do so. You dey even bring in other people that will not get interest in the sport. Sure. So man they say, this guy and the joke, look when they laugh back, Panistia. SF they feel belong. And they go comment under on a phone that they permit. By so doing, now so the you know the tweet or the post they get attention. It go beyond. It go beyond. But it's so disheartening, you know, because these are something it's so very easy for do. Una access, una right for this accreditation. The people don't know right for the accreditation. Simple. Not so everybody go recognized by face because we have newcomers. We have people who are coming into the business for the very first time. Some person go in face na pass already.
Sure.
Everybody said them. But what of the individual now? Where a day they do the profession. Now somebody where gets a media institution you work for, and then you deprive them of that thing. It's so sad because at the end of the day, you make you feel bitter. So now go say, okay, me I need to talk again about this league.
Exactly.
Yes, of course. And when they do that, now the league they lost.
Exactly.
The league now they lost. You know, we're all going to suffer because at the end of the day, we know they get the momentum or the support we need from the league. But when everybody comes together, people from Calvin Radio, from Fry Radio, from 98.1, everybody talk about the league. Everybody talk about the league. Mercy TV they talk, Fry they talk, this they talk. Oh man, this league, yeah, myself I go watch today back. Somebody will come on our office and say, this league I go watch today. Sure. When they go, so say, Paddy go day. It's outside you go say, I go watch game. Look how Edwards they get support. A lot of people none of them support Edwards team.
Sure.
But someone I first see in Koliko and say, Sam, that school over there they play today.
Exactly.
Now some people like support Edwards.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. They go watch and say, I will buy the jersey. So when the person buy the jersey, he's supporting the team directly.
Sure.
Because that money then when they come to the team, they can use it for develop the players then.
Sure.
They can use it for fitting other things then. So we want to let people understand, see, the media gets power. The journalists then are very important people then. Look what if Qatar do. You know how much money Qatar spend on journalists then? I'm not talking about journalists now. Top guns them. Then people like Bastian Schweinsteiger and the footballer. Now they go to the World Cup as reporters. Qatar spend a whole lot of money in terms just on media. You imagine Peter Drury, one of the greatest or best commentators in the world. Then book him from Usaid because they want to let the World Cup team get a momentum. At the end of the day, it was voted as the best World Cup for over a time. You know when they conduct a survey on BBC. All of these things will never be possible if the media not get the attention.
Exactly.
Am I not right, my brother?
Yeah, you're right.
When you go to gold.com, you go to BBC, you go to CNN, you go to any other different websites around the world, they are all posting things about sports. It makes you feel good because at the end of the day, depression is coming. A lot of depression is around at the moment. A lot of people they get comfort zone from sports. So man, you go see that in 1 2 hour, you're watching team. If they win, you take your phone. You go to a status, you know, if make time blow off, other person get Cabrona Pueblo. A lot of people get phoned by that. You know, a lot of people get. So let them know say the journalists are important. You know, look for Sabi all the journalists there.
Sure.
So we really feel for a lot of other colleagues them will go through discrimination because they not deserve that. As a journalist, as a media person, you are a very important individual, and we also get a responsibility for conduct yourself as how the world want for Siri. Because you imagine now journalism and go offend, they say no for talk. Yeah, as well they say no more talking. They go say you present that show on Mercy TV.
Exactly.
So all the time you for bear the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of sporting activities then, despite football. We get boxing, we get gymnastics and all. So we're going to go for a very short break. Go cargo to that for let's
definitely do that on things.
So now let's go for a very short break.
Beaten but not defeated. Hard pressed but not crushed. Humanity faced the worst this year, and uncertainty became the order of the day. One thing remained certain. We had to rise. And we did. One day at a time, one step in front of the other. We chose to try again, to love again, to hope again. And now, the clouds, they're blue again. The laughter is back again. We are out of the tunnel and into the bright lights of the season again. While the fight may not be over, we know we have each other. Happy holidays from all of us at UBA. Be safe and enjoy the season.
Welcome back, viewers. If you just joining this now, Mercy TV Sports Hour, and we don't talk a lot about football now. We just want for church now the different areas them in terms of boxing, gymnastics, and I will say bravo to we brother winner Mayakan. We been top the British gymnastic competition and we top as the winner or so. So we just say bravo to them for that achievement. Even though not a ceremony day, but the fact that we're proud of all of that. So, and looking at the other sporting activities, then you get the like of gymnastic, boxing. So what do you feel like? See, who's our need for touch and who's our need for structure? Because we always talk about football. There are different sporting activities we need for work on as Sardinians.
Time already don't favor too much again, but first let me congratulate Naima Khan, because it's so important, we get individuals of such we fly the
Green
content, whether he's in Sierra Leone, whether he's outside. We get the last time we only talk about this tennis player. We not even play for tennis. We only play for Sierra Leone because he gets Sierra Leone and descent. We talk about him. So at the end of the day, we need for as well comment that individually.
Sure.
I think the associations they need to be very serious. Now one area that we need for take back because sometimes we can just say them of government, NSA, they need to them people are serious. Themselves as well they're not serious. I'm telling you, because when you're serious, then government will take you serious.
Sure.
I remember the last time the NSA pulled a press release saying all other sporting disciplines therefore put a program or a proposal, yes, and go shout to the NSA. A lot of them bodies they will talk about not do. So now we are admonishing them to go forward. We're not team at the end of the day, we can go and say, I don't have football money to concentrate on now. Make the move, go to the NSA, go to the Ministry of Sports, tell them about the sporting disciplines, and then we the journalists will take them to the other level. Because we want for create the platform for every sporting discipline for grow in the country. Because when they grow, we all grow. Not all man for play football. You get picking on a tennis test and play. A lot of picking on a basketball they want for play. Everybody getting different talent. So we not go and cage them all pan football no. Let everybody go in a diverse area and develop. So let us create a way, even starting from the schools, because now they will go develop their talent here. Let the schools then begin implement their sporting disciplines there for sports house picking and talent there. First of all, they see even the schools and they play volleyball. Now we never see that again. Yes, and when maybe they play, it helps Sierra Leone a lot. It make we get the best team now West Africa than volleyball. Now we're going to be the best now. We will relax. So we don't want that again. In subsequent other programs, we will talk more under other areas in the board. Let the association be very serious. Let them take them activities here to the school. Let's tap out the talents from their school level them, and then we will get a better sporting disciplines them across the country.
Okay. So you bet to us. I know say you will get your final what we want to tell there.
Exactly.
So in terms of the football and the other sports disciplines there, and so youth the way they out there, because at times you just need because you get a lot of people out there, they do different things that we not call for, but you see some man, I know one or two people already say they start, they begin play a ball, but one or two gives them make them go into drugs and start doing something else where they don't spoil in career now. So what you get for say to young people out here as you find out what?
Yeah, thank you very much for this wonderful question. My last message I will say to the young people out there, we like they don't really take the football career, but one way or another, this led to another thing is that football is all about concentration. You understand? You need to focus, put your attention there, and you always believe. When it's time for training, you go for training. Leave all other activity if you want to be a professional footballer. Most of the things now we happen to use them, I will say like a peer group, you understand? So now we can peer influence, say football, you actually constantly football, not this, football, not that. Maybe it's like no gun, no do two things, and people are away, and then the stakeholders, them, SLFA, and this and that, and it became mostly they use for at least they will represent Sierra Leone. It's an international competition, it's a national competition every day. But if you focus, determine, you always concentrate. Trust me, go there in that pick day. I get a lot of players so far where I will mention where like they like that professional footballer, like of Chris Barry. Now Molan came with the push, maybe they gap up. They come all the way from Eastern, a car Western, for see how best they go survive. You understand? The same call that street. I possibly as
I see one of your videos there we
post on TikTok. We publish them like
so that's not something where they try for motivate people out there. So you just need for be steadfast, focus power with you and do and no say. At the end of the day, for football you want to play but you will not play football at the same time. Exactly. You just need for focus power.
Yes, well focus. We are going on my TikTok page. We are watching. I feel pity. It's really pathetic. It brings me back to Victor Osimhen. We watch to the Nigerian level. We help. I'm disabled woman. Way back. Every day in the victim day, of selling cold water at the street. So please buy in one can play away like so much but and a lot of players and so far and a lot of fans and so far, they inspire because of the team the way they do so far. And lots of Saduba where they play for Vogue Rangers, you see. And every 6 days it will be in an international or national level for Star. But where they gap up, on ball and left school. Although yes, they go school, they sit in Becky level, but he left school just because of one concentration of football. And then today, a woman can put out say, Martin, I'm using this one below of football. As soon as I never open, I get 2 cards now. We are playing football. It's all about concentration. So if you want to play football, you want to 100% put your concentration so far. And for the league, and I appeal to this coming present league now where they play, for at least the Premier League board will even issue out awards to the players then. Make the award be a formidable award, you understand? Because they play in league at the end of the month, they get an award, you understand? You have to prove something, say yes, me this person, I mean we will so player of the month award. We'll be there in that should in the previous league we just passed, the marked coming players. So I just want to say kudos to everybody we at least help me, both ASC and Australia and America. Big shout out to the brother out there, manager Jerome and Maggie, the CEO of the marked coming players. So we don't really come into the shoe of the Premier League. We see say last Premier League we play, we issue out every player so far. We come, do nominees and left the people in full at least and put. So at the end of the month, that player they going to say, now we win player of the month. So if we even end ourselves, we party do can say you don't say you know the player of the month. You give me 10 picking and say what with the cup and win so award. You understand? Be playing football and you win award so far, and it take you long, it inspire you understand? Because if you they play Premier League, then they get nothing so far from it. Another one way and another encouraging you. For push so far. So I come out playing to the board for at least then put all the measures in place to plaque safe and a round sum of money at least for them to give them for at least them appreciate. It will be so fun for them and it will go for them as well.
Thank you very much, Thomas. My man, Martin, at least you say any last one.
I want to say a big congratulations to Neymar Khan for this wonderful achievement out there. As Sierra Leoneans, we're proud of them out there, and we also hope that this football association and other sporting disciplines out there. We follow some of them. We see Sierra they more than the outside there, some of the laurels so then they win, so that they will find way for incorporate them for Sierra so that they will bring laurels in the international scene. And for say kudos to them, and we call on authorities and make sure they take a look at them athletes that are out there where they contribute a lot to this country. Plenty, thank you too.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you to us.
It's a pleasure.
To my brother Nemakan, we're proud of you, and we're really proud of you because you did that part there, but you did make sure say you represent Sierra Leone and also the country goes side there, and we're proud of you. Me your name now is the small comeback and the program we watch now Sports Hour on Mercy Television. As I'm say, this is now the final edition for 2022. The next one I was doing at 2023. I hope that we'll go for bring all the best to now, and the program will be a very good one come 2023. Till next time, till 2023. Me your name now is the small comeback and tata.
More and more people are using Rocal SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Rocal SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.